Hello everybody, it's Calxiyn here. I shouldn't sound so happy when I say this. So today we're gonna talk about Jaune.
Oh, Jesus
You'd
Christ.
think that we'd stop talking about Jaune by now, honestly.
I mean, I suppose it sort of pays the bills. Does it pay the bills?
I don't know. I can't explain. Anyways, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Remember that if you do, you guys should join our Discord server or become patrons over on Patreon. So, we are here to talk about Jaune's fate today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like his fate is less in peril in
To
comparison
everyone.
to another person.
I have to make some, like, I don't want to say cop-out videos, but I couldn't make it obvious that Weiss was the one that was gonna get fucked.
Jesus.
So I needed to make some other ones so people would get thrown off, if that makes sense.
I've read copious amount of fanfiction where she gets fucked. I will have you know.
Obviously, if you guys are watching this, you've watched, I wanted my YouTube, subscriptions to be clean, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like to feel guilty when people are like, but kills, it's a spoiler. No, fuck off. After Tuesday, everything is fair fucking game, so it doesn't even matter anymore.
The people who watched the new Star Wars movie probably disagree with you, because I haven't seen it. It's been a week, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, shit.
Yeah, but Tuesday it comes out free for everyone. If Star Wars was free, would you go?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm going, and it's
$20, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. If it's free on the website, you had no excuse. So, we're talking about Jaune today. I see minor death flags here.
Really?
Yeah, like minor, I said minor death flags, like, because he had some really interesting emotional character development this episode, you know?
He got pissy at Cinder. I mean, it's a little bit of...
What?
Jaune?
What?
We're talking about Jaune.
But how he was like, how can you kill those people and still keep that smile on your face?
You
like,
think
all that
that's
stuff.
really emotional development, or just, you know, announcing the world that he feels a certain way we already suspected he did?
I shouldn't phrase it like that, but I think that Cinder didn't know that. You know what I mean? Or that...
I think Cinder could have guessed that maybe when she, like, toppled an entire city...
That's not what I mean!
A few orphans would be made.
Let me finish. I'm saying that... That's the first time that anyone has really called out Cinder on her shit, and the first time it happened, it was Jaune, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's important for his character, is that the first person to really, other than the only person who's confronted Cinder's delusions is Raven, when you think about it.
Raven the motherfucker.
Because Raven, remember, she said that, you know, that Cinder changed her name and had a bunch of, like, children who were brainwashed into following her. Like, Raven pretty much roasted her, right?
What do you think Cinder's first name was? Because Cinder is a little...
Cinderella.
Oh, right.
That's what they wanted to name her originally, remember?
Cinderella.
I
remember they brought it up before in, like, a live stream, whatever. And
they did, that's what I'm referencing.
And then they used the inflection Cinderella for whatever reason.
Okay.
I recall that. I'm not crazy.
Can we, talk about Jaune?
I was about to say something that, like, oh, Cinder's kind of a stripper name. Do you realize her real name's kind of like, it's like, oh, that's Darlene or something.
Anyways, so what was I saying? Right. So, that's the first time we've really seen Cinder call out, or been called out. And nobody said anything about it. Like, she didn't seem to care, but, like, nobody's really said that to her before. Like, nobody has called, because Jaune was like, how broken do you have to be inside? You know what I mean? Like, he was going in. Like, he was going in for the burn, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I think that was really interesting for his character. Like, I wouldn't say it's I think it's development because he said it out loud. Like, yes, those emotions have been stewing in him for a while, but that's the first time he's actually said it, right?
Fair enough.
And I think actually saying it is shows strength on his part. And I think that's very interesting. Now, will Jaune die?
I don't think he will die. I think those fuckers are addicted to him. Like heroin. It's like so bland so often.
But him dying after this episode would be
That'd be fucked up.
Very nice.
So many of
narratively.
So many Jaune fans would leave the show after that.
But so many Weiss fans are gonna...
Well,
Anyways.
yeah, no, that's why, I mean...
Here's the thing,
yeah.
alright? Narratively, I think it would be interesting for Jaune to die
How
right
so?
now. I think that he tried to fight against Cinder, but instead of getting his revenge for Cinder, he decided instead he would go and defend Weiss. I think that would be a nice way to end his arc, is that he decided that even though he wanted revenge for Pyrrha, the best thing that he could do to honor Pyrrha was to make sure that Weiss didn't end up just like her.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be a very nice way to end Jaune if they want to kill him. Because then, say he gets in front of Weiss, he tries to, like, take her away to get help, like, so she doesn't, you know, die, or whatever, and say he succeeds in that, but then Cinder kills him along the way. Like, I think people want Jaune to be a hero, and I think that's the most heroic thing that he could ever do, is that run through a crowd of White Fang members while the school is about to explode, with Weiss in his arms,
just
getting her
in your arms tonight.
like Weiss in his arms and like running all the way to the nearest hospital or whatever they have in Remnant for people that got stabbed in the chest with giant pointy spears.
We saw that photo of like Weiss and then Sienna Khan being like, "You too?" Like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Sienna Khan.
RWBY has a thing for impaling.
God, I fucking hope she comes back in some.
But yeah, I think that would be the best way for Jaune to go out. I think that would be hire me, Rooster Teeth. I know everything.
Chances are they already wrote this, but I digress.
Well, yeah. Anyways, and so I think that's the best way for him to go. Like, do you agree? Like, is there any better way that he could die?
I don't know if I should save this for the Weiss video. I'll probably just repeat myself, but I do not like the idea of like having to keep on bringing these characters, these likable characters like Pyrrha, and then hopefully not Weiss, die just for Jaune's character development. You know, I'd rather see them develop because Jaune's just not that interesting all the time. So I really hope that
I think that we should talk about that.
Out of the two, I'd fucking prefer Jaune to die, but I preferably, you know, neither
like
die.
I think that's a big conversation topic, and I would like to get to that if they actually kill Weiss off. I don't want to shoot the gun without, you know, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, so to speak, because I think that we should call them out on that if that's the route that they decide to go.
Because I'll have to save this for the Weiss video, but I'm concerned, and I really hope that they don't do certain things with regard to murdering off characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be the best way for Jaune to go, and to be honest, I think if Weiss did die, it wouldn't serve his development too much if he wasn't the main focus,
but you're right.
Right?
If Jaune died, it would if Jaune died protecting Weiss, it would serve greatly for his development. It would also probably prove the whole Juniper
death theory,
yeah.
And also, like, it would make Jaune like finally be a hero, because I think that being heroic isn't going after your vengeance, it's protecting people, and that's what he could realize in the end. Like, I feel like that's so important, and so I feel like if Weiss just dies and then he just gets mad and goes after Cinder again, how is that any different from what happened before?
Oh my god!
How is that any different?
Yes, it would. And then you would just waste this wonderful character as Weiss, as we've been just like, she's been getting so much good character development. God, I hope that happens. And so, yeah, like, it doesn't improve him at all. Like, for him just to be more angry about losing someone else and then going after revenge again. Like, it just doesn't do anything new. And we were talking about last time how Weiss getting hurt is going to be a very nice parallel, but also a contrast, that when Yang got hurt, the team fell apart, but when Weiss got hurt, it could bring them together instead of people running away again. And so we need a contrast here, I feel. And so I think the contrast would be if Weiss were, like, dying instead of Jaune going after Cinder while she's down again, sort of. It would be better for him to die protecting Weiss. And yeah, that would improve him greatly. I don't know. I'm a little worried about what you said, but I want to wait until it actually happens, I think. Just because, again, that is a big topic, and I only want to call them out on problems if they actually
execute it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to call them out on something they haven't done yet.
At this point, it's like, I'm looking at this, and I sort of can kind of see I'm worried that that's what they might do, and it's just like, come on now. You did so good with Ilya.
I know. Like, well, we kind of have to see. That's one of the things where I have to see, and I think that's really where his fate comes into play, because I feel like whatever happens to Jaune is going to be either telling of Rooster Teeth's success or that they are falling into bad habits, if that makes sense. Like repeating themselves, right? Yeah. And so, based on what happens to Jaune, and then what happens to Weiss, but again, we'll talk about that, like, it is imperative, this next scene for them, because this tells the difference between regular anime and then RWBY. Like, this is gonna tell apart from, like, a great, like, piece of media compared to something that we've already seen happen over and over again, right? And so I feel like that's a big responsibility for them to carry, but if they really want RWBY to be greater than it already is, they'll try to avoid doing stuff like you mentioned. And I feel like the best way, I feel like that is how Jaune should go out. Maybe not now, but I feel like in the future that he should have the opportunity to kill Cinder, but instead he doesn't and decides to save, like, Weiss or RWBY or anyone, really. That instead of killing her, he decides to rescue someone, because that's what being a hero is. It's not going after your revenge. You know what I mean? And that could also contrast to somebody like Yang, who is presumably, hopefully, gonna go after Adam, and then we can see maybe that she, instead of protecting Blake at parts of the fight, she is so focused on getting Adam that she doesn't even defend her partner, and so that would be a very great contrast to Jaune, you know, again, losing the opportunity to kill Cinder.
Although I don't know if Yang would do that. I feel like that's not exactly in her character.
I mean, I don't think she'd do it on purpose, but I think that that would be more accidental. Like, that people get so wrapped up in the fight, like, you don't realize what's going on with that around you sometimes. Like, I don't feel like she'd do that on purpose to be like, well, Blake, you're a dick and you left me, so I'm just gonna let you get hurt, you know? Like, I don't think she'd do it like that, but I think that she'd be very consumed in her anger.
I picture, like, Yang coming in at the last moment and Blake being like, you saved me, and Yang being like, hold it, I'm gonna tap you later.
Okay.
First, I gotta deal with this.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, that's just kind of what I mean. I think that would be an interesting contrast, and it doesn't even need to be, like, Yang, I guess, not that she's not defending Blake, but not paying as much attention to Blake as she is to Adam. Like, it could even be, like, that she lets Sun go, or, like, that she lets Sun and Ilya get her when she probably could have saved them because she's so focused on trying to kill Adam, you know what I mean? Which isn't, again, that's not a bad thing for her to do. Like, obviously you want to neutralize the threat, but there's being heroic, and then there's kind of going a bit too deep into your own indulgence and trying to get revenge. But yeah, I think the way I'm explaining it makes Yang sound like a terrible person, but I think that's something that you'd have to see on screen. It was a mistake.
It was.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't be intentional of her. Like, she wouldn't be like, well, fuck you guys, I gotta go get Adam. Like, it'd just be that she was so focused on them, she, like, blinders, right? Because Tai Yang said that she always goes straight first. She doesn't realize that there's a way to go around, and that would be, I think that would be a nice contrast anyway. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And we will see you later. Bye, guys.